Rising on the South Island of New Zealand lies the tallest mountain in the country, Aoraki, also known as Mount Cook. In the national park in which the mountain range is located, you'll find stunning lakes, intricate river networks, and valley views that never seem to end. Join us as we explore one of South Island's most impressive landscapes, including Lake Tekapo, our favorite lake in all of New Zealand. We flew into Christchurch, where we picked up our campervan, our home on wheels, and did a grocery run for some food and essentials before setting off to our first campsite for the night.
Good morning from the South Island of New Zealand. It is a beautiful day today. We had a pretty nice sleep in the camper over here, but it's time to make a little breakfast.
For our first area, we're going to be exploring Lake Tekapo, which is actually very known for its lupins. But we're not here during the right season. They actually bloom in November, but we are still enjoying a beautiful day out here. It's a gorgeous lake with mountains everywhere. And there are some low-hanging clouds in the air, so it looks absolutely amazing.
If you look up images of Lake Tekapo online, you're guaranteed to find the stunning lupins that line the lakeshore. Unfortunately, we weren't here in the right season. They tend to bloom in November, so by the time we got there, they were wilted until their next bloom. Nevertheless, take a look at how beautiful this lake is. We had the best time walking around, enjoying some slow-paced moments, and loving our first impression of the beauty of South Island.
I'm never gonna let you go. With your love, I'll never be alone.
For our final stop here on Lake Tekapo is the Church of Good Shepherd. Not only is it a historical church built in 1935, it's actually still an active church, which they have service every Sunday at 4 p.m. Now what's interesting is that in Lake Tekapo, it's actually a dark sky reserve, meaning not only is it good here, but also along the shorelines, it's actually an amazing place to go and stargaze.
I think we found our lunch spot. It's called Motuariki Viewpoint. It's only a 15-minute drive from town. It's so beautiful because it looks out over to the island of the same name. So I think we're gonna have to camp out here for a little bit and enjoy some food.
After a quick lunch, we took some time to soak in the views before heading back to the south side of Lake Tekapo for a little dip. The water is so much colder than it looks, but it was more than refreshing, especially with the sun fully out. We settled into our second campsite right on the shores of Lake Pukaki. Surrounded by mountains from every direction with low clouds revealing the peaks, our eyes were constantly drawn to the tallest mountain in front of us. Mount Cook lit up perfectly by the sunset glow, making us that much more excited to head into the national park the next morning. Waking up quite early, we managed to catch a bit of sunrise before making the hour-long drive to Mount Cook. It was a cloudy morning, so we couldn't see the mountain just yet. Note that it's a pretty common occurrence for Aoraki to be completely covered in clouds. We pulled over on the way up a few times when we saw the most incredible valley views starting to reveal themselves. But trust us, don't spend too long on the road as this national park gets insanely busy, so get there in time to secure a parking spot.
Good morning, guys. We have officially made it over to Mount Cook National Park. Now, the activity we're going to be doing around here is two major hikes. Now, the first one is a super easy one, which is called Hooker Valley, which is also the most popular walk in all of New Zealand.
It is a walk because it is pretty simple to get there. It's an out and back trail on a gravel, fairly flat path. We only have about 130 meters of elevation gain throughout, and it takes 3 hours because it is a 10-kilometer walk. So we're gonna walk all the way to Hooker Lake and back.
When we first started the hike, a blanket of clouds still hovered over the entire valley. But as the morning got warmer, the clouds started to dissipate, unveiling a phenomenal scenery. You get the perfect view of Mount Sefton at Lake Mueller Lookout, with the vibrant vegetation sprawled across the valley and, of course, the lake itself.
We are on suspension bridge number 2. There are 3 in total. Now, it is a true suspension bridge. It like absolutely shakes when someone walks by you when you're walking. As long as it's not too sketchy, there is a load of 20 people. So I would say if it is a super busy day, maybe just wait a little bit before you want to go on. Because yeah, there is definitely some bouncing.
After we crossed the second suspension bridge and started on the Meadows Boardwalk, Mount Cook was revealed in all its glory.
And time for our third and final suspension bridge. We're getting close.
Pretty much on the dot, it took us about an hour and 15, but we made it over to Hooker Lake, the end point of the Hooker Valley walk, and it has been a beautiful walk, and obviously the views here are absolutely stunning with Mount Cook in the back. Now, there's actually a viewing platform at the top, but it is so incredibly busy. It's so much better if you come down to the lake shores. Like you can see, there's nobody around me right now. We have this place almost to ourselves. Now, we are gonna head back after grabbing a quick snack here, just chilling, enjoying the views, and we actually booked a campsite that's right here in the national park.
We finished up the hike and moved ourselves over to the White Horse Hill campground, which is exactly where the trail had started. So we just moved a couple of parking spots over and we're staying here for a couple of nights. This campsite is the only one located in the Aroki/Mount Cook National Park. So we had to book it a few days in advance and we're staying here for a couple of nights. So we're just settling in. Jason cooked us some lunch. We've got an amazing view to enjoy our food with. And later we're gonna be heading on to another hike in the afternoon.
We feel like this is a good time for a quick van tour. This is the Euro Sky 3. She's an older gal, so a lot of the driver comforts are missing and the gas mileage is pretty horrendous, but the interiors were transformed into a cozy setup. We have some storage space, cooking equipment like pots, utensils, plates, and bowls. There's a small sink and stove combo that can be closed off, and a small fridge with a freezer. In New Zealand, there's something known as freedom camping, which consists of free campsites spread across the country, but in order to stay overnight at them, your camper needs to be self-contained. That means a toilet needs to be included, as well as a space in which gray and black water can be contained. You would need to dispose of them at different dump stations and refill your water tank, but it allows you to have everything you need from toilet to kitchen right in your camper. There's a dining table we can set up inside and one for outside, and at night, our inner living space converts into a bed. The camper can also fit a third person, but we just use the top bunk for storage.
We are officially heading over to Sealy Tarns. That is the second hike that we will be doing today. And this one is going to be a lot more strenuous than the first one. It's going to take about 2 hours just to get there and about an hour and a half to come back. Elevation gain is about 600 meters, but it's going to be a lot of stairs.
We had a good 25 minutes on a flat path before the dreaded stairs. It's not the most exciting way to hike, especially when you need to climb 2,200 steps that aren't always the most consistent. But look at the view, you guys. Mount Cook looking stunning as always, with Mueller Lake just below. To the right, we got to see the vast verdant valley surrounded by mountains, and once we finally finished the stairs, we made it to the Tarns.
It actually only took us an hour and 10, an hour and 15 leisurely to get up here, so it's a lot shorter than I had expected.
Yeah, and the best part of all, there is not a single person here. We have the entire viewpoint to ourselves. We can see Mount Cook, Mount Sefton, this crazy glacier right there behind us. But the reason why it's called the Sealy Tarns is pretty much like a small pool, and that is going to be right over here. So this is the small pool, and I think if you come in a non-windy day, you actually might be able to get a reflection of the mountains.
To end our time here, we wanted to share 3 other major spots that we think are worth checking out. The first is the Tasman Glacier, which is actually the largest glacier in New Zealand. It's a short 20-minute walk up from the parking lot, and once we reached the viewpoint, we spotted the mighty glacier, though it was completely covered in a thick gray layer of loose rocks and dirt, and the Tasman Lake at its feet. The second place is just outside the national park and along the road to Mount Cook, called Peter's Lookout. This is quite an iconic photo spot where the curve in the road draws your eyes to the imposing mountain. We would have stopped here on our way up in the morning, but as you saw, it was super cloudy. The third spot is the intricate network of the Tasman River. Hundreds of river veins intertwine upstream from Lake Pukaki with the craziest shade of milky aqua, creating one of the most unique landscapes in the world. We hope you enjoyed our first video of the South Island of New Zealand, and we'll catch you guys on our next adventure.